It's twisting a bit. I'm worried. Are you worried? Hi everybody. You should never move a piano on your own, but sometimes you just have to. So I'm going to demonstrate 3 ways that we do that here. Some of them are good and safe. Some of them are not good or safe. Pay attention. Here we go. The first one is called the backbreaker. You should never do it. It's never a good idea. There's never an excuse, but sometimes you just got to do it. So here it's called. Here we go. This is the backbreaker. Hi-yippa! You hike it up. You get it on its tipping point. The leg nearly fell off there. Once it's on its tipping point here, you can relax a little bit. You could text a friend. You could have a bit of a snack or a drink break if you need one. Otherwise, you just get on with it. Use your foot to get the trolley sort of centred and allow that to come down and grip. Steady as she goes. Don't panic if it falls over. Well, do panic if it falls over. And that one is the backbreaker. And away you go. And once you have it in position, you just reverse the process like so. And if you perform that manoeuvre in a customer's house, they will be shocked, amazed, and astounded. But it's not recommended, so don't do it. Right, now that I've got my breath back, we can look at the second method, which is a little bit safer, still a tiny bit risky and hairy, but there's no lifting involved, so it helps you back. This one is a winch design. So my dad invented this. Or he thought he invented this. He perfected it over various different prototypes. And then when he'd finally finished it, he sent it off to the patent office, and they replied with 2 previous inventions that were identical that had been done more than 100 years earlier. So he kind of invented it, along with some other people. So you take the piece of rope that's attached to the hook, throw it underneath so that it pops out the front somewhere. Can't reach it, can reach it. And you pull that up through the front leg and you hook it back into the same hook that the other end of the rope is on. It takes a minute, there you go. Then, oops, that side fell out. So it's a bit faffy, as you can see. You're crawling around in the dirt on this one. You're on your hands and knees, you're faffing about underneath pianos. You're being a bit gadgety. Kick that in a bit so it's nice and tight at the bottom. And start winching. Now on this method and on the first method, we would normally have a piece of carpet underneath the front edge or this side edge to protect it as it lifts and makes contact with the floor. But for this video, we don't need to do it because this piano doesn't need protecting very much. So here we go with the winch. It's very light, you don't need to be strong because the gearing is very low. And you make steady progress. Feels very clever, feels very in control and safe. But is it a tiny bit slow? That's what we wonder. Sometimes think, do we have to get the winch? Can we not just use the backbreaker method? Now as this one's going up, it's twisting a bit. So they don't always go very uniform, which can make it all a bit nerve-wracking. And we should get the trolley in now. It's not quite at the tipping point yet, but we get the trolley in just for safety in case it slips or slides or something goes wrong. The trolley will catch it. Now the trolley's halfway in, we'll go to the full height that we need, which is only a few turns more. That clunk was the metal wire just settling itself on the coil. Right, it's reached our line. We have a line to mark off where we think it should be ready. So lift this side up, put it in. Not quite high enough. A few more turns and we should be there. Let's try that. Good enough. So now we go back down and it will grip, the piano will grip the trolley. And then you just keep turning and turning all the way down. So you can see how controlled that method is. And it's very safe for your back. There's no back strain, no risk of injury from lifting. But it's a bit tedious, messing about with the handle. You have to pull it down far enough to get enough slack to unhook the rope. Come on, like that. Pull the rope away, stick that to the side. And you're done. Okay, let's check the next method. And finally, the third method we're doing today is the best, the smoothest, the easiest, possibly the least risky, and the most impressive. And we need to get this cradle from over here. This is the cradle. We have 2 of these, and if you've got one at home in your garage, I'd like to buy it off you because we need a couple more. So this takes all the back work, all the risky work, and it makes it all very enjoyable. So have a look and enjoy. There's 2 metal prongs that slip underneath at the back. And you leave that resting, then you pull the piano from the top until it comes back nice and easy. First time you do it, it feels very stressful, but you realise that it's very easy. So as it hits the wheels there, it's tempting to stop and leave it there while you go off and do a cup of tea or something, but it can, if some pianos are if the weight is distributed differently, it can rock forward very easily and go smashing that way when you're not looking. So it's always best to come all the way back here. Like that. Now it's very safe and you can go off and have a cup of tea. But we're not going to do that. We are going to figure out how to get it onto this trolley. Safely, easily, with no stress. So we have this ramp that my dad has devised, another of his inventions, and that slides under here. And then we move the trolley into position behind the ramp. Just checking that looks all central, everything looks fine. And the moment of truth. Are you worried? I'm worried. Are you worried? I've not done this very often, but I've done it about twice, but I feel like it went so well I was in a position to demonstrate. So it's lowering it onto the trolley. The piano levels out. All the weight is now on the trolley and not on the cradle. We can slide the cradle out, take this away, move the ramp out of the way, and deliver this to wherever you're going with it. And then get the kettle on. Okay, that's the 3 methods that we use here. Don't use the first one. The second one is a bit eccentric. The third one is excellent. But most importantly, don't do it on your own. 2 people at all times. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Feel free to share it with anybody, anywhere, anytime. Thank you. Goodbye.